Hi, Connie.
Ooh.
Hi.
Are we live now?
Of course we are. I cussed within the first 3 seconds.
Can you hear me yet?
Yeah.
Hey,
Doesn't
that's
your
my
screen
line.
have on the? Doesn't your screen say on the air you're in the broadcast?
Yes, it does now.
Yeah, we don't have anybody watching yet. Oh, yes, we do. Now we do. So, Chris.
I see we got 6.
Yeah. So, Chris, I can ask a question now. Can they hear us now?
No. You're definitely muted.
You're
Whatever.
not muted. Whatever.
Hey, Connie, what's up?
Hey, how's it going, guys? How's it going there, Les?
It's going
We
good.
got
I got some raccoon.
It's all
eyes
good,
going.
Connie. Guess what? I hear you're close to getting your own bike.
I am.
Yeah, she is. It's
Not going to depend on...
we went to Walmart.
Yes.
We went to Walmart the other night. We found some of the toys.
Yep. Vroom, vroom.
It's gonna be a good bike. It's gonna be right for her. She's gonna be a good one.
It's gonna be a Huffy.
All right. It's gonna be a Huffy
Huffy.
bike.
Huffy Pro
Don't
Thunder.
forget to put those cards in the spokes.
Oh yeah. Anyway, we got 14 already. Hey, listen, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so right now. Oh, one dropped off. I guess they didn't like my attitude tonight. It's really exciting. We got a good guest tonight. The sun is setting, and the bikes are going into the garage, hopefully. And you guys are joining us on your TV or your mobile device in your local bathroom, in the truck stop or whatever it is. All right. 13 seconds. All right, Rolling Throttle's here. Welcome to the podcast. Our Indian Adventures is here. Hey, if you can, put it in the chat where you're from. That'd be cool to talk about. All right, here's our Folds of Honor. If you wish to donate, it's for a good cause. Our 501 nonprofit dedication to providing education scholarships to the spouses and children of U.S. military services members and first responders who fallen and been disabled while serving. This is a good cause, and Indian is backing it, and they have a ride, and I think it's in August, if I'm not mistaken. I'll have to follow that up. Anyway, all right, so we got the 3 here, and Bob will be joining us here in a second. You guys, I hear something in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Connie, you got your phone up? Somebody got their phone up? Make sure you guys got it turned
I don't
down.
hear anything.
Nope. Mine
Right.
is muted, sir.
I think
So
it's
is
my
mine.
wife.
Probably me.
All right, behind the bars is here. Welcome to the podcast. Les is here. We know that. All right, did you guys? How this is gonna work? This is a small kind of. Oh, let me go back here. This thing real quick. Let me pause this timer for a second. I don't know if I can pause it or not. We'll see. Let me move it over to the side here and pause it. And you know what? Let me just get rid of the timer. All right. So this is works. Bob is a small business person. He makes a lot of stuff. We're going to show some pictures of some of his stuff tonight. So get ready to have some questions, and so we can ask him. It's going to be really cool. It says the ride is September 20th. Awesome. Thank you for the information there. Our Indian Adventures. He's also got a channel, so please follow him up. Quantum Tag is Bob Cole's. I'm Bob Cole's son, watching with my family here in Arizona.
All right.
Oh, cool.
Way to go.
Yeah, there
nice.
you go.
All right.
Disclaimer,
And,
no?
What's that?
Disclaimer, no?
Oh, yep. We're getting ready to do disclaimer right now. Here we go. There you go. It's your turn, Mr. Max.
Here we go, folks. At Throttle and Iron, we believe that throttles and bottles do not mix. We promote responsible drinking and do not condone drinking and riding in any way, shape, or form. While we may enjoy a drink during the podcast, we do so safely at home with no riding taking place afterwards. Please enjoy responsibly, follow your local laws, and never, ever drink and ride. Ride safe, live free. Speaking of tonight's selection is Angel's Envy Triple Oak. I just picked this up the other day at a reasonable price at my local liquor store, and it is delicious. Look it up, check it out, go buy some. Angel Envy.
Max,
Triple Oak.
I am sorely disappointed you have not invited me over to try that yet.
I just bought it the other day. I asked you if you wanted
Oh,
dram
my
when
gosh.
you came over on the new bike, and you said no.
I am
we
So
were
there
drinking.
you go.
I am drinking
Yeah,
Kirkland best. It's a zero proof.
And
It's
that's
very-
what you need to get to, zero
Diet
proof.
Coke.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. All right. I think
I
Bob's
got lime
drinking.
vodka.
He needed it. He said he had to drink a lot before he got on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you got anything?
No, I got Diet Coke, man.
All right.
Man,
There's a
we
simple.
went-
There's a
We
simple.
went and got a pizza, and that was my to-go cup. So
Gotcha. Well, there is a symbol on Les's side of the screen. If you guys can figure that out, it's not the yin and yang, but it's something coming up soon. All right, Bob, welcome to the podcast, man. All right, tell us a little bit about
Hey,
yourself.
Thanks for having me.
Hey, no problem. So, who's Bob?
Well, who's Bob? I'm number one, a very happy husband and father and grandfather. Live in northern Minnesota. And yeah, I'm just blessed to have a lot of good friends and good family around me, and makes got a pretty good life, pretty happy person. So, yeah, in a nutshell, I work in the mines in northern Minnesota. I've been there for, I don't know, a little over 15 years, and then as a hobby or just for fun, I guess I started. I've always dabbled with motorcycles. My younger brother and I, we always mess with anything and everything that has a motor or doesn't have a motor, try to make it faster or better or whatever. It's like anybody else, right? And then yeah, so I just kind of always like painting different things and tried this and tried that, and somehow or another, literally fish talked me into start BC Customs. He was calling it BC Levers and stuff like that before I even knew what was going on. So my brother and I were goofing around in the garage one day and just kind of, yeah, just made it a levers one day for my bike, and then fish seen them, and it just kind of rolled off from there.
And how many do you have you sold without no website or anything? How many have you think you've sold?
So right now I was just doing going through everything that I've done so far. And the funny thing is I've never kept track literally of how many people, in a way. I've always kept the ends of the levers and stuff for some reason. I don't know if I was going to melt them down and make a aluminum motorcycle out of them. I don't know.
Mhm.
But I'm about 6 shy of 1,000 sets of levers so far.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah, that's pretty
Congratulations
cool.
on that.
wow.
And what have
Yeah,
you? When did you
congratulations.
start? When did you start making them?
So I started making them for my 2020 Challenger, probably I'm going to say, so 21, 22, I made a couple sets, one for me and then maybe one for fish. But I think 23, I started putting them out to a couple other people here and there. And then basically I started BC Customs last year, after Fish said, hey, we got to do more than just levers. You got to do, see if there's anything else you can do. So I started doing painting some mirrors to match, as well, because there wasn't a great, I guess the biggest thing for BC Customs is I want to give somebody something a little more personable for their bike, so where when they pull up, they have the levers for their bike. You know what I mean? They
Mhm.
have the mirrors that match their bike. They don't have the every, and I'm not knocking any other brand. I'm just saying that they don't have the same levers as every other person. You might
Yeah.
have BC Customs mirrors that match your identical bike, or that have the flag on them, or that have whatever. And I made them just for you, so you can kind of
Mhm.
make them the way you want, within reason. But yeah, try to make it personal.
I want mine with a bunch of gems and stones and all kinds of stuff. That's kidding.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
I'm gonna-
God have mercy.
Oh,
Hey,
Chris. Hey, Chris. Instead,
Wait till you
Hey,
see
Chris.
these levers. These are freaking awesome. What's that?
So instead of the closer, you'll be called Sparkle.
No, that's somebody else's name.
no. Yeah, we all know whose nickname that is. But
It's not
Bob,
me.
hey, no, it's not you. It's part of our IMRG group. Bob, anybody who follows
Yep.
Riding Fish knows you and knows the work you do.
Mhm.
Because all of us, I've been following Fish from the beginning. These guys have jumped on a bandwagon, and they've even rode up there and met Fish at the
Yep.
King of the Baggers not too long ago.
Yep.
Yeah. There you go. But
I'll tell you what.
I've seen your work and your grips, your whatever you call it. Thank you. Turn me
My
upside
levers.
down. I appreciate it. The levers are really, really cool. But
Yeah.
we also want to know about your trip to Mexico and with the dirt behind that.
Oh, good Lord. I tell you, so the trip, do you really want to hear about the trip to Mexico?
Oh
Yeah, if you got
sounds
the
like
dirt,
it.
yeah,
yes.
we spill the tea. We love the tea on this channel.
So, when I was younger, I was wild as hell, always willing to do anything and everything. But I always have these cutoffs, stupid stuff too. Like I won't open up cheese and touch it with my fingers. I have to eat it out of the wrapper. I'm that anal about stupid stuff, right? And if I'm out of my comfort zone, I'm not a happy camper. I'm, you know, but Fish decides that he needs me to go to Mexico with him. And at the time, I'm like, oh, that'd be great, right? We'll ride into Mexico with a group of people. He's like, yeah, but you got to try these different foods. And I'm like, as long as they have hamburgers, pizza, hot dog, I'm fine. I can find that anywhere. He's like, no, 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 you're going to try different foods. And, once we get into California, you're going to lane split and, we're going to, you just follow me. And, we 6 lanes of traffic is no problem. And I'm just like, and he goes, and on the way back, we're just going to ride through Mexico. And I'm like, like through it or like with a bunch of people. He's like, no, no, you and I we'll just go through all the way to the other end. We'll come up the bottom of California and stuff. And I'm like, okay, yeah. My wife, my friends, my brother, my family, they all know I've never been out of the country. I'm not, I've been to Hawaii. I know that's still the country, but that's as far as I get when it comes to that. So I'm just not diverse in any way like that. So I'm kind of regretting at first saying I'm going to go because I'm just like, I got all these going in my head. Like, am I going to go to jail? Am I going to get shot? Am I, because sometimes I can't keep my mouth shut, just like the rest, But I tell
Yeah,
you
there
what,
you go. Thank you.
but I tell you what, Fish has this way of making everything turn out okay. I don't know if he's got a golden horseshoe up his ass. I don't know if he's half leprechaun and he's just lucky. I don't know what it is, but it's like he's got a rainbow following him everywhere. And no matter, even when we ran out of gas on the way to Colorado, where did we run out? Right next to a old building that happened to have gas sitting there waiting for us. So we get to California, and nobody knows this. Well, now you guys are going to know, and everybody else in the world. We get our rented bikes and everything, and
And you had an elite.
I got a 24 Elite, so I got like black candy before it's candy. You know what I mean? So I kind of felt like
Right.
Kevin Fall. I was kind of cool because I only ride a 23 Elite, But so anyway, our first 5 miles, we're going to stop and grab something to eat, and we pull in this parking lot, and we're on kind of on an incline. And I've been riding my whole life, for some reason I put my foot down, hit some sand, and the bike starts tipping. And I'm like, I'm looking over at Fish, half grunting, half yelling, like, you gotta help me out here. It's going over, and it just finally tips over at the end. And so that started out my trip. I'm like, oh, I'm just pissed, and Fish is like, oh, it's all good, man. If that's the worst thing that's gonna happen, we're good. And I'm like, oh God, here we go. But we took off. He hit the traffic. I'm following along, going in between these cars like crazy. And, and Teslas don't move over because everybody lets them drive by themselves. So you're weaving in and out. And yeah, I aged 36. I'm actually only 23. I aged, 32 years just in that little trip. But yeah, so we just rode and we rode fast. And of course, Fish is always late. And he forgot that we were supposed to meet at no, we were supposed to meet at like 9 o'clock in Arizona, meet Adam Sandoval and those guys in Arizona at like 9 o'clock. So we stopped like halfway. We're just like, oh, okay, we'll just, sleep here tonight, find some little honky crap hotel that Fish seems to find where you literally have to lay your old clothes down, your dirty clothes to feel safe. And yeah, so we kind of sleep there. We wake up and I'm like, all right, you ready to go? And he's like, yeah, we got plenty of time. And all of a sudden we're cruising on. About 5 minutes later, our clocks switch on the bikes. Now we're an hour late. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
and all of a sudden I'm looking at my clock and I'm like, what the hell? And I just see Fish's bike just take off. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Did not even think that all of a sudden we went from, daylight savings or whatever. And so now we're just hauling ass. I mean, we're going through traffic like crazy and we pull in just in time to ride. But that was just the beginning. It was it just got crazier from there on out, you know. And but everything works out with Fish. I don't know how. It's just I think he just wills it into him,
No.
Well, we got
And
to ask him about that. We got to ask him about the golden horseshoe. But I did hear that was your first experience with Mexican food. How did you survive it? How did you like it first
dude.
off?
Okay, and Fish will attest to this. The places he brought me to eat, it was not good. He said, okay, this wasn't good. This doesn't, and I'm like, oh yeah, this, and I'm trying to choke it down, and we're at the hotel that first night after I ate a couple of these chimichanga thinger jobbers and, soft, soggy taco stuff. And I'm like, oh my God. And, everybody's like, don't drink the water and don't do this. And I'm like, holy Christ. So I got my bags full of Monster drink and Rockstar and stuff. And I'm hyped up I'm hyper anyway, if you can't tell. Then I'm hyped up, 2 times more. And then I'm just hungry as hell. So I went down to the restaurant there and everybody's got all this Mexican food. And I'm like, you happen to have a hamburger. Just the biggest, ugliest hamburger you could make. That's all I want. And a Coke. And then I was happy. I calmed down and it was, I felt a little better. Yeah. But it was a lot of fun, a lot of crazy stuff. If you guys have never been down on that ride, or into that part of Mexico, and don't ask me what the name was because I don't remember. But Fish has got it on his YouTube channel. It was some kind of play of something, but it was the most amount of people you could fit in one spot without any issues. I mean, you were literally like, I was in the military, and I'm sure you heard of the term nut to butt when you're in line and
Yeah.
you're going through that's what it was with people and no issues. I've never seen so many people packed in one spot and everybody just having a good time. So it was fun.
All right. 859 says, where the hell is Fish? He should be defending himself.
Okay, so Fish is sleeping because he's got midnight tonight. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He said he'll watch it
So
later.
see,
Yeah.
And your
so
good
see
friend.
that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So see, that's Chris. That's why Max won't ride on your bike. That whole nut to butt thing.
Oh my God! And you're on the bandwagon too. See, I thought you were my friend. Now, see, I got nothing. I got nothing for either one of you now.
Oh,
Yeah,
Max, you're my
No.
friend. I made you a
Oh
pair
my
of shoes,
gosh.
man. Come on.
I got
made you a pair
nothing
of
for
shoes.
either one of you. We could have done without that comment all night. Now, Bob, tell us about your contribution to the Folds of Honor giveaway bike, the leverage you contributed to it.
Yes.
Okay, well, my contribution, there's a couple different things. First of all, and there was a lot of people involved that you couldn't even really mention. I mean, Fish would mention them on his channel and stuff like that in the comments and stuff. So our community is so strong and so close, and our friends are so loyal that I literally called, Kevin called, Fish called, and I just told everybody that I knew and anybody I could think of, hey, can you help donate to this cause? That explained the cause to them and what we were doing and stuff. So Fish could actually win this bike, so we could actually do what what he said we were going to do. And so I had my all my family, my friends up here, anybody I could think of, everybody was donating like crazy. Guys from work. And so when we finally won this bike, my contribution was I'd make custom levers for it and custom mirrors for it, make sure it was detailed out, buffed out, everything ready. It was a very small part of what everybody else had done. I mean, to get everything together, Hollister Indian, those guys were amazing. Brandon Davidson, those guys were amazing. You know, you had Corbin Seats, you had um, TNA Customs, you had Gator Mike. There's so many people, Fish, you know,
Yeah.
but for
Don't
everybody to
forget
come together
Lloyd's.
and do what they did. Well, Lloyd, yeah, exactly. Lloyd did so much too, a lot, that's just it. There's so many people that came together to do one great thing, and I don't think people realized how much work there was involved to get everybody to come together, to get everything done, to get the bike out there, to get everybody, you know, just on the same page, and then for as most of you know, for Kev just to disappear and go ahead and spend that kind of money. And I don't know. You guys haven't met Kev yet, or you might have met him. I don't know, but he's one of the most generous, kind-hearted people you ever meet in your life. He's a true good spirit, and and
Mhm.
he just wanted to have his part in it, and be able to just to give more. I don't know how that guy could even give more than he does normally on a day-to-day basis, but he found a way to do that. So he literally purchased that bike for a large sum of money, and now he's making it a banging bagger. So he's got more to come on that. Wait till you see that thing, But it was absolutely insane the amount of people that came out and supported it out in Vegas. And I mean, my family and friends from around here came out with us too, and people from Colorado, Doug, and a bunch of people from the cities and from Texas and from Florida and from all over, TNA from Canada, Angelo. I mean, it was just crazy the amount of people that came together. Mike from Ride Culture, and everybody got together, hung out, had a blast, and just watched history being made for us. We just thought it was crazy cool that we were even in this position to do it. And then the way it went together, you couldn't ask for a better outcome. So it was pretty emotional, I mean, Fish cried like a little girl and stuff. But no, it was cool. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, now Chris,
very
Chris,
exciting.
Chris, we met Kevin, right? Up
No,
at,
we did not. No, we did not.
I thought he was at the King of the Baggers race.
No, that was another guy. Now, Kevin came in the next day. Okay. And we, for some reason, we just kept on missing him. But I did see him a couple times talking the Fish. I mean, you can see he's very hyper. He's very exciting. He seems like he's always smiling, always happy. I mean, that's the kind of person he is. We did not get to meet him. That's what. Yeah, I wish we would.
You can't help but smile when Kevin's around. You just can't help but smile. He just makes you happy.
Yeah, he came the next night. He wasn't at the pizza party or anything like that. Or that pizza dinner that we had the night before. But I wish we would have met him. We will meet him. I mean, eventually we're going to be.
We'll make sure of it.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we're going to do something. We're dreaming up some stuff. I was talking to Bob last night on we was doing some testing, and we gotta get with Fish, and we gotta dream something up. So we're gonna try to do something. Also, a lot of people have been asking how to reach Bob. Okay, I put a QR code right here next to his picture, and also, I just seen somebody do a like. There's 23 people here. Start spamming that like. Okay, share this podcast. Yeah. Also, if you ain't a subscriber,
say hi.
Yeah. If you ain't a subscriber, please subscribe. We have guests here all the time. We have the Bearded Bobber coming on next. I think next week we actually have a free week, but after that, it's going to be him. And we'll also, at the end of this show, at the very end, we'll be talking about some rides that we're going to be doing. But anyway, that's his link right there. Also put it in the chat. I'm going to put it in the chat here in a second again.
So what kind of link do
you know what?
there?
Don't sell the times that it's just us. That we have a good time and we have a good show. Just three of us.
Oh yeah, we do. It's a good show. We'd like to have fun. We are going to be. We will be announcing some stuff next week that we're going to be doing that they don't know about yet. They're just willing, to do it. They just don't know it yet. Look at Les. He's happy about it.
Oh my God.
So Do you do just Indian, or do you do any other bikes, Bob? A lot of people were asking that because there's a lot of people in here that's a Harley.
Yeah, like what kinds
So
what
yeah,
kinds
I
of
mean,
bikes do you have?
I've done a couple of things for Harley, mostly just Indian because that's who we base our community
Mm-hmm.
around most of the time, or who we're around the most. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've done some stuff for Harleys. I've painted some bags and some painted or smaller parts and some levers and stuff for them. The biggest thing is I usually don't carry those in stock because I don't have enough of a demand for them. I'm not in the Harley community a whole lot, so people don't really even know that it's out there. Probably, I have a set that I'm doing for a guy from work, Rob, and so I'll be doing a set for him. But yeah, I'm more than willing to do them for any bike that's possible. Some
Kevin
are,
is,
some aren't.
Kevin is on here, and he's saying that he loves you. Somewhere I've seen it somewhere. I might have. He said he
What up,
needs some,
buddy?
and the reason why because he needs some more BC levers. He didn't say that, but
no, that is what he says. Bob, I need some BC levers. It's right on there in the comments. It's
all
there,
right.
man.
So there's another
Yeah, I'm
story
looking
before
for
we
that.
go to the photos here of some of the stuff that he makes. There is another story that just happened recently, and it happens to do with almost like a year of history, right? Or more than a year, right? It's more than a year. So tell me, and then somebody asked about it on the chat too. So tell me a little bit about, riding fish always has the luck. You said you're exactly right, but you was with him or around him and about a week ago or two, and something happened to something very precious of yours. You remember what it is?
Oh, you mean me losing my phone?
Yeah.
So yeah, again, I'm not always the brightest person, but I've had this phone mount on my bike for a while, for a long time, and I've had it at pretty high speeds. Never had an issue with it, but for some reason, on the way home, Cody and I were riding on the way home, and we got into just south of St. Paul on I-35, and we had just stopped about 10 minutes before that, and I'm messing with my phone trying to get it set in there, and I must not have got it set in there right. Then all of a sudden, it just took off. And I'm like, you got to be kidding, because we're in a shitload of traffic. So you can just see it, getting bounced all over the place and everything. And yeah, so I lost a lot of pictures, videos, anything from August of 2023, because yeah, I didn't want to pay the extra $2.99 a month for the iCloud. Yeah, so now I pay for 2 terabytes. So anything that I can figure out. But yeah, and then not a real smart person, my wife or Cody told me, he says, well, why don't we just stop here at a AT&T store and just get you another one right away? And I'm like, oh, no, we always just order our phones and they come the next day. What's it? He also does truck parts. No, I don't, Cody. I just did some mirrors for his son. But Cody, my boy, he's just like, hey, why don't we just stop at AT&T and get you another phone right now so you're not without? And I'm like, oh, no. Every time we order, it just comes the next day, not even thinking it's Saturday. And, nothing was open. So I didn't actually get my phone until Tuesday. And then you never know how much you rely on your phone until you don't have it. And for
True.
4 days, I was just like, I had Fish post something and a couple other people post something. It's like, hey, Bob lost his phone. He's a moron, but get a hold of him on Tuesday or Wednesday. He'll get a hold of you. So if anybody was out there and were trying to get a hold of me, you can now. I probably won't know who you are, so you probably just have to say, hey, it was me.
Well, I was like, I was texting him, and then it's like, man, this guy's ghosting me, man. I said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get him on the podcast or not.
Yeah.
And then I finally seen, the post from Riding Fish, and it's like, oh, that's the reason. So I started sending you some messages through Messenger. So yeah, it's been cool.
It's crazy how dependent we are on our phones, though, isn't it? I mean,
yeah, it is.
You just never. It's just crazy. Yeah.
We had
It's bad.
we had some friends that were going to a ride, and I don't think Les was on there or not. We was going to a Carmack station,
Nope.
and what is it? Was it Jennifer? Yeah. Jennifer.
Yeah, Jennifer lost her phone.
She had a quad lock phone case, and also he has a different one. I just want to make that clear. But she thought she put it on there right, and it just you kind of think that stuff works all the time, but you got to make sure you do it right. And it fell off when she went on the exit and to get on the interstate or the entrance. I'm sorry, and it shattered in 1,000 pieces. Lucky she found hers, but
that's crazy.
Yeah, you didn't find yours. It's still, if anybody's in St. Paul, Minnesota, and on the interstate of I-90, it's probably still on the side of the road.
So Chris, the Memphis Carmack trip is how you got your nickname, Closer, right?
Yeah, Closer, yeah. Because every road I went down, it was closed.
Never want to follow Chris anywhere, that's for sure.
One of the things that...
yes.
When you came in the state of Indiana, there used to be a sign that said, "Welcome to Indiana. It's the crossroads of America." And then somebody marked that out and said, "The closed roads of America." Because every time you go down a road, it doesn't tell you. They got a bridge out and it's closed. It's like you got to turn around. You got to go. It's just like, Indiana's crazy, man. They're always building bridges.
Yep. Closed roads
to nowhere.
Chip and seal heaven.
Building bridges to nowhere.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing.
Yeah, you guys have 2 seasons there: construction and winter.
Yeah, that's about it.
About it.
And they got some good roads, but you just never know. They don't really announce them. They just say a detour, and you're just like, "What detour?"
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything. It's just a detour coming up, and it's like, "Oh, that road's closed." But anyway, yeah. So let's go through some of these pictures now. Let's go through this stuff, and believe me, he has tons of pictures. He had to give me these off his Instagram. Why can I not talk tonight? This is crazy. I think it's because Instagram. All right. So they're not in good quality. Some of them are because I blew them up and short them and made them smaller and that kind of stuff.
Pixelate those babies.
No. They're actually looking good. I had to make them smaller for the podcast. But either way, here we go. Let's go.
Is this on a Scout, Bob?
So the ones on the right there, the levers top and bottom, they are for the Folds of Honor bike there. And then the American flag to the left of that was for a guy named Jacques. He is the president of one of the IRMCs down in the cities. And then the other ones are just some good customers. Yeah.
Gotcha. Any good stories with these before I turn them?
No, just learning how to do stuff, I mean, like I told you before, I can't even draw a stick man without having boobies on it, so I'm not very good artist. For some reason, yeah, I like doing stuff like this. So
hold on a sec, we got to play a song here. Kevin says you're very good at karaoke. So what's your favorite song?
Kevin. I love you, buddy, but
all right, we'll go to the next page here. All right, so this is the most popular bike I think on Fish's channel right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
That's the Scout.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big thanks to a lot of people on that bike, though. I mean, especially the carbon fiber from Angelo. It was. It started out, Fish was just like, hey, just 4 pieces. We'll just make something cool, because I said, hey, I'd kind of like to, I was going to buy a little bike just to paint over the winter, just to see if I could do it, if I could paint a bike. And then Fish is like, well, hey, why don't we just do the Scout? It's only 4 pieces, right? Rear fender, front fender, gas tank, and then the visor. Well, then it became, Angelo's like, well, why don't we throw some carbon fiber on there? Well, yeah, let's do that. After I already had everything in my head, how I was going to paint this bike and everything, now we got to have some exposed carbon fiber, right? I mean, you got to make it look, like it's carbon fiber, but yet still painted. So then it became the front fender, the rear fender, the tank, the side mounts, as you guys can see for the fender. Then it became the covers on each side, and the horn covers and the screen. So it ended up being 14 parts in total.
Yeah, so
and then it's like, hey, you gonna have that done in time?
Yeah, so never trust a guy who says it's only 4 parts, right? Is that the moral of the story?
Yeah. Your parts are my parts because your definition of parts and my parts are a little different, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just painted some mirrors for Cody's son, my buddy up here for his son. He's like, yeah, I just want some side mirrors painted for my truck, and I only do that because he's such a great kid.
Mhm.
And it ended up and some little emblems. Well, it ended up being, on a Super Duty truck, you got the main body, then the extensions that come out, then the extra extensions, and then the top and inside of each mirror, right? And then the inside of the fender, they have their F250 logos, but you got to pull all those logo or the numbers and letters out, or you got to tape around them. You can't pull them out, so you got to tape around them. And he's like, no rush, but can you have them done by next week? We'll figure it out, but
So-
he's a good kid. Otherwise I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, so for my 2025 pursuit, if I want to get some flag levers and get my mirrors
Yep.
painted, how do I get that done?
So and that's what I tell people all the time. All you have to do is go to BC Customs on Facebook and just message me. The reason I haven't put up, and I get this question a lot, why don't you put up a web page? The reason I don't put up a web page is because, number one, I don't do this full time. I want somebody to message me so I get the messages as fast as I can and get back to people as fast as I can, so they're not sitting there waiting. And I'd like to get to talk to people and get to pick their brain a little bit and maybe show them something else that might fit their bike a little better, or work with them for different colors or ideas like these flags, or a lot of people don't know what I do or what I can do. I can't really do chrome because, as you know, chrome is plating and it goes over copper and then over the, and the nickel and all that stuff. So when you cut down the chrome, you'll always see that little very fine line at the end of the levers. To me, it would drive me nuts. I've done them for a couple people and they seem to like them. But the chrome has to be perfect. Otherwise, if I'm shipping you a set of used chrome levers that I cut down, they might have flaws or scratches in them. And I wouldn't be happy with that,
Sure.
So I just kind of try to stay away from that. But yeah, all you have to do is get a hold of me on BC Customs page. You can email me. That's on there as well. You can call me. I'm pretty open, but I want to make sure that I talk to you and get to know you, and we can just, maybe you have an idea that I haven't done yet, which is going to be a lot. So if you got an idea and if I think I can do it, we'll try it out. I'm usually 3 to 4 weeks out, from the time of payment till the time of shipment. And it's not just because I am very busy with the shop, but again, I work a 12.5-hour days, I'm swing shift at my work. So I work days and midnights. And so I only work on these on my days off, or if I'm on midnights, I work on them too. But you know what happens if you're too tired and you work on stuff and try to make it right.
Yeah.
It's not always good. So.
Well, here's the thing. Les, why don't you go ahead and make the announcement now, since we haven't done it now. Everybody, Les bought a new bike.
Yes.
Tell them.
I just picked up a 2025 Pursuit 112 on Wednesday. So with the 4th of July holiday, I've been able to rack up 800 miles on it already. So yeah, been
So here's
riding
the
it like
thing.
crazy.
Now, here's the thing. It's a 2025 with all the new safety things and the mirrors and all that stuff. For Bob, the levers aren't going to be a problem. Mirrors, that might be a different story, because that's brand new with all those wires and stuff going in there. You might want to think about that for a minute. Because I don't even think the
mirrors,
aftermarket's got anything for that yet.
No, they don't. And my mirrors won't fit on there because they won't have all the safety stuff in there. So mine are kind of a off thing. And I mean, if you wanted your stock mirrors painted, then I'd have to take a look at them. I'd have to run down the Lloyd's and see what the process would be on that. But and then I also heard, and I don't know if this is true or not, because I think I've already did a set of levers for a 25 Chieftain with a 112. But somebody said on one of the forums that the levers are different now than the last set, the previous year. So I'm not sure.
What do you think there, Les? Okay, you don't know?
Don't know.
Well, we are going to get you some, we're going to get you some measurements. We're going to get you some pictures. We're going to send them to you, unless you go to Lloyd's before we do. But that's coming soon this week, I think. Let's see. MC Curtis, when are you going to ride, Bob?
Yo, buddy, I miss you, man. I miss you. It's been a couple years since me and Mikey have rode together. He was actually on one of it was me and Mikey met fish together the first time. So I don't even like saying this because it's a weird way of saying it, but we met on Facebook. Not like I don't know. Fish anyway. Fish put something on Facebook because the three of us bought Challengers at the same time, and he's just like, "Hey, I'm thinking about going down south and riding these bikes in like March or something." And I called up Mikey, and I'm like, "Hey, what do you think?" He's like, "I'm in." So we just loaded up Mikey's trailer, met fish down in Owatonna or Faribault, and we met Chewy and a couple, and Mike and Jeremy, I think it was, and we all went down there and just kind of hung out for a few days and had a blast, and we've all been good friends ever since. I think Mikey and I were like, with the first 10 people to be subscribers of Fishes, so, but Mike and Jules, good people, they're Mikey's my cousin, but he's more like a brother. So, but it's been a while since we rode. So sorry, buddy. I'm always busy.
All right. So Bob responds quickly after the first message. You'll feel like you've been friends forever. And you know what? We talked in my truck. I don't think you realized I was in my truck the other day. Man, we were talking for almost an hour and 15 minutes or something. I was like, man, the time went fast, man. It was great. It was a great conversation. Kevin says, congratulations. I think that's for Les as a new motorcycle. Mike says, I hate all the safety stuff on the new bikes. Some people love it. Some people are going to hate it. I mean, that's the way the world is.
That's been what the whole issue's been. Well, some people like it. Some people don't.
Yeah. That's what they said about cell phones.
Yeah.
As far as
what people still say about cell phones. Go ahead, Les.
Yeah. Well, I've actually had a cell phone since 1988, so I can give you some interesting stories on cell phones. But, the safety related items, the blind spot and the rear collision avoidance and the portion braking, some of the things that bike does are actually pretty amazing. So, don't discount the safety stuff, so to speak, on the bikes. It's actually pretty nice. Yeah, I was skeptical until I got it, and when you ride it, this thing pops up and it shows you a car off to your left side that you don't even realize is there. Or someone's behind you, it's getting a little bit too close. It'll pop up and tell you. So it's actually pretty nice to have some on the bike. It really is.
Mm-hmm. And I was reading up on some stuff that they're going to be expanding on that thing, and I don't know when it's coming out, but they're working on radar for possible deer radar.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so it'll alert you. There might be
that'd be very beneficial in our area.
And cameras in the front and back that record when something gets too close to you with the radar avoidance system. So that's going to be crazy. So they've been testing this. I don't know if this is ever going to come out, but
you know what this means, Chris?
Mm-hmm. You have to get another bike.
I gotta get a new bike next year.
Well, a lot of people mentioned the back. I guess the back kept going off or whatever in the rides during the group rides. Isn't that what they said?
Well, when you're in a group ride, I think we're getting away from Bob here a second. We gotta get back on focus here. Yeah. But what they're talking about is when you're group riding, you might have to turn that off due to you might have a motorcycle that comes up really close and back and close. Mm-hmm. And it might, get you annoyed a little bit, but you can turn that off anytime, which is pretty cool. But yeah, that's what a lot of people were talking about is, it kept on going off because somebody would, come really close to them, in a group ride. So
now Katrina
Cole
if
they
says,
put that deer avoidance on there. Oh, go ahead. Yeah. Oh, you're talking about my wife. I'll let you say something. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, Katrina says Bob definitely needs the deer radar. Laugh out loud.
Yeah, that's what he's gonna say.
Let's expand on that. What does that mean, Bob?
Oh, okay. So this Oh, geez. So first of all, my cousin Mikey there talked me into buying an Indian. All right. And I was riding, I built up a badass VMAX second gen, which was just ridiculous, because I've always loved just being halfway dead before I even get in an accident. But so we were out on a bike run one day, and my cousin's got a brand new Chieftain,
Hmm.
limited, white, beautiful bike,
Right
if
back.
you're a grandpa or whatever. And that's how I looked at it at the time. But we're out on a bike run. He's like, "Hey, let me ride your VMAX." I'm like, I don't want to ride your bike. Sorry, Mike. And he's like, "No, no, just let me ride it." And I'm like, "Well, you can ride it, but I'm not going to like your Chieftain. I'm going to tell you that right now." So he takes off, and I'm cruising on this bike, and I'm like, "Oh, he's got a radio." So I turn that up, and I'm just kind of jamming. I'm looking around, and I've been to Stillwater, Minnesota, many, many times, but I didn't even recognize half of the shit as I'm riding around on this Chieftain. And it got a little windy, so I put the windshield up, and then I'm sitting back, just I got the cruise on. Mikey's flying all over like he's on fire. And he's like, "You want to switch back?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good. I don't. This is pretty good." So I literally sold my bike like a week later, bought a Chieftain, and then I bought, when the Challengers came out, I bought one of those. Mikey and I both did. Well, we planned this big trip to go to Tennessee. The wives decided they were going to fly down, and Mike and I were going to ride down, and we were leaving on a Wednesday. Um, Sunday, Mike and I got together down in the cities, which is about, 3 or 4 hour ride for both of us, or 3 hours, whatever. And I was riding home. It was nighttime, and I smoked a deer on the
Oh,
Challenger.
Ooh, that
And
sucks.
and yeah, so this is where and my brother is the one that brought this up to me before too. He hated the fact that I bought the Chieftain because when he had a street glide, him and his buddies had so many close calls with deer. And with the street glide and with the Chieftain, your fairing moves with your handlebars, right?
Mhm.
So
Exactly.
if you hit a deer and it hits your handlebars, you're going to turn with it, right?
Mhm.
So he got a road glide before I got my Challenger, and he said, "Listen, you should really think about getting a road glide because of the fixed fairing." And I'm like, I don't know. Well, when the Challenger came out, I bought one fixed fairing. When that deer came out, and I was coming around a corner at about 60, and it just come right out. I didn't even get a chance to hit my brakes, and the deer's head hit the fairing, and then the body came around and hit me. But the the bars stayed straight. That was the whole thing, you
oh
know.
wow.
So the bars stayed straight. I was able to stop the bike, tried to find the kickstand, but my whole left side was numb, so I just kind of fell over. And again, it's 11, 12 o'clock at night. I called my brother up, and obviously, without hesitation, he's driving an hour and a half to come help me out, right? Um,
Right.
so we get Jesus, this is funny. I thought it was funny, but there's a bunch of state troopers come around out of nowhere. We're 30 miles from anywhere except for a bar. So they tell, can you get the bike over to this bar parking lot to get us off the freeway, off the road? So we get over there. Some drunk guy comes out with two drinks in his hand. He's like, "Are you the guy that just hit a deer?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I got to give you a drink." And and now I'm good, man. There's state troopers here. I just hit I'm pretty good. "No, man, you got to go get it." I'm like, "I'm good." So a little while later, my brother pulls up, and I'm pretty shooken up. I ain't going to lie. I was kind of being in bitch mode, just kind of not feeling like riding another hour and a half home. And it was cold and raining, and my brother just said, "Listen, man, if you don't get on it now, you're never going to get on it." He goes, "I'll ride it for about 20 minutes up to the next area, but you're riding it home." And that's what I love about my friends and family and my brother stuff is we're always very hard on each other, but honest. And he was right. If I wouldn't have got on it, I probably wouldn't have. I probably would have just parked it in the garage and said, "I'm done," right?
Mhm.
But I made it home. I followed him home. I got in the garage. My wife was a nurse at the time, and well, she is a nurse, but I mean, she was working midnights, and I sure in the hell didn't want to call my wife and say, "Hey, I just hit a deer." She just had hip surgery, so she was on crutches and stuff still. So here's what sold me on Indian. I'll make it short. I got home, took everything. Well, most of the stuff was already apart because it was in pieces, but Indian has a QR code on every piece they make.
Mhm.
I took
Right.
pictures of every QR code, everything I needed. This is Sunday night at about 2 o'clock in the morning. So Monday, 2 o'clock in the morning. I sent all that stuff in an email over to Indian, called them, left them a message, and I wrote them a letter, what happened, let them know that I was leaving for Tennessee Wednesday.
Wow.
Wednesday morning, my cousin Mike shows up at my place at 7 o'clock. We go meet the UPS guy. We have my bike fully put back together by 11 o'clock, and we hit the road. And
Wow.
we
Wow.
go to Tennessee.
Wow.
Indian had everything there and made sure of it. You know, would that always happen? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you what, that made me an Indian rider probably forever. So
That's
Oh,
a
wow.
great story.
Yeah.
That's a great
Sure
story.
is.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know they even did stuff like that. That's crazy.
yeah.
But
Well, you know,
Mhm.
I actually ordered a part from Indian, and it was supposed to be a kit, and it was missing a part. So I called, and I had a similar experience. I'm like, hey, I'm missing this part. They sent me the part overnight. They sent me a gift card for my inconvenience. I mean, they took care of me. The part was
Yeah.
there, and they should have banged a job.
Yeah. Yeah, so funny part is we get down to Tennessee, and like I said, my wife was on crutches, so I ordered these little collapsible crutches that would fit in the side bag, So she's hobbling along on crutches. I'm bruised from my ankle to my boobie, and so I'm limping on my left leg, and we both get off the motorcycle, and people are looking at us like, like you look like you're a really good rider.
Oh,
it was
geez.
it was a good time. But,
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
That's awesome. I love it.
We did have some more pictures. And here's some more that some of the stuff that you did. I know I didn't want to interrupt a good story. I didn't want to forget these pictures too, because this is the last of them. But yeah, I mean, we got some good stories, man. This is a great podcast. I'm glad you came on. I see you were sporting a riding fish hat just a couple minutes ago. Now you're
yeah, so
sporting
I got the
culture.
ride culture, my boys, Mike,
Yeah, right.
Mike and Amanda Sampaio. Some of the greatest people you'll ever want to meet, always willing to help people. Ride culture isn't just a business. They are, man,
Mhm.
they do so much for so many people. It's crazy. So, yeah, just great people. So I support them as much as possible. And he's got cool merch. And then, of course, I got to do the fish thing because, he's my boy. So I'm always trying to plug, and then we always got Gator Mike and stuff. He's always helping us out too. And Angelo. And, if you guys haven't tried Gator Mike's sauce or stuff like that, you got to try it, man. We have it almost every day. So there's your
I think
plug, Mikey. I promise you. There it is.
Oh,
So I think Gator actually subscribed to the channel, so I'm gonna be looking at him and see if I can get some hot sauce. I like hot sauce.
Yeah. Oh, dude, his seasonings and rubs and stuff. Oh,
Mhm.
they're phenomenal. I
Oh,
mean,
sweet.
I don't cook. My wife does all the cooking, but
Mhm.
they're just so good, man. He has got that stuff dialed in.
It's speaking of that. If you want to be on the podcast, if anybody wants to be on the podcast is watching, I am getting ready to set up. Let me get this picture here. The season for believe it or not, it is July. Okay, folks, and in Indiana, it starts getting cold pretty quick, starting around probably end of August. I guess it starts getting chilly nights, and then right then we go into October, and then it's pretty much over at November, and we're done for at least 3-4 months till almost March because of the rain and salt on the roads. I hate the salt on the roads, man. I do not like. A lot of people love riding their motorcycle in the winter. I do not like putting salt on my motorcycle. I'm sorry. That's how I feel about it. I mean, I would do it if I had to. If that was an emergency, I would do it. But anyway, we have. Let's see. I got it here. We're gonna do. So we're getting ready to do the schedule, and I got the schedule. I'm going to be putting it up on the website. If you guys don't know what the website is, go to throttleandiron.com. Also, please, there's 30 people here. There's only 16 likes. Let's get them likes up. Let's make it the most likes we ever got one night. We're very close. Okay, so let's get
That'd
them
be
likes
cool.
going. We got 30 people on here. I don't see 30 subscribers yet, so let's get 30 subscribers. Don't be shy. Don't be crazy. Just get it done. We like to have fun. Bob will be on here again. I mean, especially we're going to be supporting this guy for the winter season.
I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
We gotta get the four of us together: Mikey, Mike and Kev and me and Fish and whoever. Do you
Yeah.
want to see some stories then? Holy cow.
Oh,
I believe it.
let's do it. Let's do it.
So we're going to be doing a couple of the dates that we have right now. I will be giving the dates to the previous people that's been on the podcast first. They get the schedule. If they want to come on, they can. They'll get to pick that. And then I'm going to open up the dates. We always have some people that's already chimed in on dates. But this is the main shows that we're going to be having. Is the Blacktop Friday special on November 30th. Year-end recap, December 28th. And the New York party that we're going to have in New York, December 31st at 6 p.m. on the stage. No, I'm kidding. It's not going to be in New York.
New Year's Eve pre-party. My God,
It's
New
gonna-
York,
hey,
false
and-
advertising.
Hey, and it's going to be at Max's house. He just don't know about yet. Nah.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, yeah, that's a good thing
Me and my
about.
shotgun.
There's a lot of people who do podcasts in motorcycle, but this is, I think, the only one that's truly. I mean, we do like riding Indians, but I like Harleys also. I know Les has owned a bunch of Harleys. We have a bunch of fans that are Harleys.
Yep.
We do give each other shit, but that's the way it is, man. You go to a bar, you give people shit, right?
Yep.
So you go to bike night, you give people shit. So it's just a great experience.
Maybe
Well-
you give people shit. I'm not giving anybody any shit. I like being peaceful.
That's because you're
Well-
already drunk. But anyway,
And, and guess what?
Well, Chris,
And I
you know,
wrote
Chris-
and I wrote metrics for 20 years, so don't forget that
Yeah.
either.
yeah, I know. I'm just
yeah.
kidding.
So
Yeah.
So Chris, I've had several Harleys.
Mhm.
Love the brand. If Harley ever comes out with something that I just can't live without, I'll buy a Harley.
Mhm.
Right now,
Yeah.
I really, really like the Indians. I like how they come out of the box. I like how they run. So, to your point, I like all bikes. Just ride your ride, and let's all just ride.
Our Indian Adventures is asking, how do we order Gator's Mike's sauce? Maybe he can post a link, or I can get a link.
Yeah, either that or you can go to Ride Culture as well and order it right from Mike and
Ride
Amanda
Culture?
because they stock it.
Well,
Yeah.
Katrina says that the Chopper Time, THYME, from Gator Mike's is amazing. It's her favorite. So I'm going to write that one down, Katrina. Definitely.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, and like I said, if you guys are interested, like Ride Culture or Gator Mike wants to be a guest on here, have some fun, and we get all four. Well, I can get 6 or 7 people on here actually, and just have a good old
Oh, that'd
time.
be cool.
Yeah. I mean, let's just do 4 more. We can do 4 more plus us. Okay, and that would be 8, and we can just have a freaking hell of a time,
man.
having some fun. And Max,
Oh,
we'll just
yeah.
cut
You
him
better
out.
be hiring that. You better be hiring that high school tech guy. And if you cut me out, there'll be hell to pay. So there you go.
Well, if we get Kev on here, we get Riding Fish on here,
Mhm.
Bob on here. How about Finesse? We get everybody on there all together.
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
Yeah.
we can the same thing with Rolling Throttle. We can get all their guys on here. We get Dr. Harley. We
my
get on a different
Harley?
one. Yeah.
Oh,
We-
that'd be a heck of a show, man.
the Harley version and the Indian version. There we go.
As long
Well-
as you're riding, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm working on that Harley 859, by the way.
Oh yeah, whatever she's saying. She keeps on saying she's talking. I got her a Harley back here. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Not that Harley, Chris. They know which Harley I want.
I got her the only Harley she's ever going to get. Right there. Ride that one.
He's going to be surprised one day.
I hope I am. I seriously do, because I do want to have a Harley in my collection. If Harley-Davidson is watching, just send me a bike to test. I'll take
I
care of
think
it.
they need to send me a bike
Oh,
to
Lord.
test, not you.
Are these? Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm looking at the pictures they have up here. It say Gallery 3. I think some of these are off of Fish's bike, right? Spicy Candy, right?
Yep, that's Fish's
Yeah,
bike.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the
that's,
lids there are off of Fish's bike. Yep.
Yeah, I
And
saw
the
that
mirror-
bike in person. Top notch work. I got to tell you, Bob.
Oh, it's
Top
beautiful.
notch work.
That's a
Yeah, it's
beautiful bike.
Mhm.
Beautiful bike.
Caught
Yeah,
my eye
and then
pretty quick.
those little mirrors up in the left-hand corner there, those are off that Scout that I did for him as well. So yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let me. There's a couple people asking. Let me just put this information on the chat. This is okay. We're over here. If you go to the website, okay, and you guys got some ideas, I'm getting ready to expand that website. I'm going on vacation in a couple of weeks. I'm going to do some work on the website. You can go to the website right now. Throttle and okay, sometimes I get that in our old name. It sucks. It was a good name. I liked it, but we had some issues. But go to throttleandiron.com, and there is some forms there that you can just fill out. It's not no personal crap or anything like that. Just fill the thing out so I can get in touch with you. Then I can put your links on our website, and I'm going to do some affiliate links on it. Not affiliate links. It's like friends of ours, where they can go to Bob's Facebook page, Gator's his sauce and parts page and that kind of stuff. Because one thing I've learned in a long time, I mean, when I started doing this stuff, is when you meet somebody in motorcycling, you are friends for life. It's kind of weird. You don't ever find an enemy.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of crazy unless they got like a Honda or something. No, Max, you're okay. He's still pissed off because I wish we had time for this story, but I went to India and he wanted me to meet up there. I was there and I got kind of upset, so I didn't call him. He's kind of upset with me because I didn't call him. He said, "I thought you didn't call me to go up there." And I was like, "Well, we had some issues." So, but I didn't want to, I didn't want him to see me, cry like a baby. So.
Okay.
All right, let's get back to Bob here. So Bob, we gotta do a focus on you real quick because we're running out of time here. All right, so where can they find you?
Just go to my page, BC Customs, on Facebook there, and literally just instant message me. My phone number's on there, my email's on there, so you just go on there and I'll get back to you. And I'm try to be pretty quick. I'm usually, unless I'm sleeping, which is very rare, I'll try to get back to you within an hour.
All right, so I'm going to enlarge this thing here. So if you got your phone and if you're on Apple, what you can do is just take a screenshot of this screen right now and then put that in your photos. And then you should be able to touch this or if you have Android also, and it'll take you straight to his Facebook page. All right. Hopefully it works. It was working for me and that kind of stuff. So they just give you a message, right? This is what I got. Hey, here's some pictures of my bike. What can you do for me?
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Now, do you make?
Definitely. I like pictures of the bikes too. Yeah.
Now, do you make these levers or with the CCM and that kind of stuff, or what do you do?
No. So what I do is I use actual Indian levers. So I buy Indian levers. I cut them down, reshape them, and then if people want the finger grooves, then I cut all those in and make the profiles for those. And then I sand and sand and sand and sand and seal, primer, base coat, clear coat, and and then wet sand and polish, and then ship them out. So it's not
Wow.
and people don't, I talked to quite a few people, and Cody and Nadine and a few other people that have bought and paint a lot recently can attest to this, how expensive paint is. So and Fish and those guys, and Kevin especially, he spent a lot of money on stuff painting. But after you buy the levers and the amount of time it takes to do them and the amount of materials, with sand, even sandpaper, but sealer and primer, and then your base coat. A lot of these Indians have a mid coat, like the pearls and stuff or the metallics, and then the clear coat, and then you buff them out and sand them and stuff. And there's never been a painter alive that can do it perfect every time. So sometimes you're redoing them 2, 3, 4 times, to get them perfect. So it really, you don't make a lot of money on them, but you make enough just to keep like money revolving. And so sometimes I can give deals. So that's why Fish will, pull a $20 or $25 coupon out. I was asked sometimes, and it's like, hey, we're gonna throw some money out of it. But I like that because you know what? A lot of times it's you know, here's a good thing too. If when I send you your new levers, you can send me your old levers off your bike and I'll refund you $50 for a core charge. So then I can
wow.
redo those to somebody else. So right off the bat, I do the Fish's coupon. So if you ever mention Fish, when you're ordering levers, you're always going to save $20, but just make sure you mention fish because I'd like to keep the $20. But seriously, but I always want to give people to understand it. You go out and buy these other levers and stuff. No levers are cheap. Nothing is cheap anymore. But when you're getting custom
No.
levers, I'm not just, dunking them in a vat of paint and shipping them out. I'm an anal person, and I make sure that if they're not perfect, when you get them, you call me and I will make you a new set, send them to you. Or if you don't like them, then I will buy them back from you. I'm not kidding. I'm not the type of person that was like, oh, tough shit. You got them. I got the money. We're gone. That's not how I roll. I've had one set of levers come back to me and he said that, they were chipped in the mail or whatever. I made him a new set. I told him to run them until he got his new set. I sent them to him. I gave him his money back with a new set of levers. And, cause I don't want people to think that, I'm anything else but just a friend, that's helping them out. So
Sure.
I enjoy doing this. When I quit enjoying it, I'll quit doing it. It's just for fun.
So I can see a set of BC custom levers on my bike here soon. I can see it.
Hey, Bob, we want to
you just-
thank you for when Fish was on. He said you're going to donate a set of leathers to the gift box when we hit 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for that, buddy.
Will do.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
I do appreciate that.
So what I'd like to do though is when somebody does that, whoever I want to personalize them for them. Okay.
Right.
So I'm
Yeah,
not
it'll be
gonna
like
send
a
you
card, yeah.
a cheap setup. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so
not
I
going to be
want
just a
somebody to call
standard.
me.
They have to contact you and all that stuff.
Yeah, they can contact me. Yeah, my wife said, and Instagram. Sorry, hon. But the person that wins, they get a hold of me, and I will give them the Mac Daddy set. All right, so there'll be 2-3 collars, whatever they want, with grooves, however they
Woohoo!
want to do them. If I can do it, we'll do it. All right.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah,
I'll pay for
less
shipping.
you and me are eligible, so you can forget that shit.
Oh, come on.
Let's see.
No, we're not eligible. Sorry.
Ah,
Yeah, let's see. G. Cole says, if there's a slightest flaw, he will do them 5 to 6 times until they're right. I mean, that's cool. Let's see. Katrina Cole's calling Bob perfectionist is an understatement.
That's obvious. That's definitely obvious. Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
You can tell by my haircut.
Vanessa says agreed. But I want to know when the heck you sleep, brother. You're working a 12-hour job, and you're coming home and doing these levers and stuff. When the hell do you sleep?
Don't even ask. I don't sleep on my midnight shifts, and that's the God's honest truth. I'm sure Casey's on here. He's the guy that owns the shop that I rent from, and obviously a great friend of ours. Just a great dude. He owns Case Auto. But I come home from work on my midnight shifts. I get home at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'll work in the shop until I go back to work on my midnight shifts for a week, and then I sleep on my day shifts nights. That's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Vanessa.
I'm already
Yeah.
tired.
I'm
I'm already
Bob
tired
does
thinking
this.
again. Yeah. I'm not a smart man, but I like what I do. So.
Yeah, everybody's on here. There's 3 people on here. You don't sleep. Casey says you don't sleep. Vanessa says you don't sleep. Your wife says you don't sleep. Dang,
Hey,
dude.
I have texted him 6 o'clock in the morning, like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night. No, he never sleeps. I'm telling you. It's great. Let's see. What was I going to say? Like, next week we do have a podcast. We will be on Sunday night again. Okay. We're trying to do it every Sunday night without having a problem. Max is like shaking his head. I got to go to church. But you can go to church still. You can just come back and, but because the next one is on a Sunday night
I
too.
got
so
your church right out of camera sight. Thank you.
and then we
Try to
got
keep you too clean.
the bearded bobber on the next week after that. If somebody does want to jump on as a guest, like if Riding Culture wants to come on here, or Gator Mike wants to come on here, or Kevin wants to come on here, and we'll invite Bob back on here, whatever. We'll have a good old time. We are open. So as long as we know who they are, we're not going to say yes to somebody we don't know and we haven't been able to, kind of, what they call that, vet. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, we don't want to have some crazy person on here, but so far everybody I've met has been freaking awesome. and Bob. That's another thing. Also, you meet Riding Fish, then you meet one of his friends, then his friends. You meet one of his friends, and it's just like freaking chain reaction of just creating friends over and over, and what's really cool. So if we can get Bob, if we can get Riding Fish and set up something for next year, I think we can do it. I think we can make this happen. Hey, thanks to Vanessa. Everybody that's subscribed tonight, man, we hit the 550 plus. Looks like we are right now at 558.
All right.
Yeah, if you guys can do us a favor. I know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, check your comments, man, because Mike Sampaio and Gator Mike says they'll jump on.
All right, sounds good.
Nice.
All right, I'll give you guys some information. Just go to the website and send me your information, or Bob can get it to me, and then maybe Bob can stay awake a little bit longer next week, and we'll just have almost. If we can get Riding Fish on here, that'd be the whole freaking picture right there.
Oh man, that would be a party right there.
Yeah, I do think. Well, you know what, Max, you can go to sleep. Go ahead and go to sleep right now if you want to.
I'm gonna put you to sleep. You keep messing.
And I might have an announcement next week too. Max, you're gonna have to be around. There's
I already know.
Oh, you know?
I already know. You can't put anything past the old man. Come on, now.
Come on. Anyway, hey, thanks for everybody subscribing. I just need you guys to do one favor. You ride motorcycles. I know you don't ride alone. Send your friends the link to the podcast. Okay. Let's get this to 1,000. Let's have some fun. We're going to change. We're always having fun around here. We're not going to be like people that, we're here for small businesses, friends of ours, and that kind of stuff. We're just here to have some natural fun, and that's what it's all about.
You guys love talking
You guys got to get me
motorcycles.
you guys got to get me your sizes too, because Vanessa makes all my T-shirts and hoodies and stuff. So I'll get you guys out a little swag too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I'll do that too.
Yeah.
And
Send it to me direct because he can't ever get his stuff to me on time.
what?
Please.
I give you your shirts all the time, man. If anybody's ever seen
Where's
this
my shirt
in
from
the back-
Myrtle Beach? Where's my shirt from Myrtle Beach? You ain't got it. You ain't got it yet.
It's in the back
I
of
don't
my
have it.
truck.
It is in
Yeah,
the truck.
but guess what? I don't have it. So there you go.
You lived like 60 miles from me. All right, anyway. All right, Bob, you got any final words, man? You ready to send us off?
Just one thing. I just want to tell you guys how much I appreciate you having me on here, and just the support and everything that you guys give to everyone that comes on your show. I think it's great that everybody can come together and support each other, become friends, and like you said before, you meet me, I meet them, they meet. It just becomes a bigger, greater community, and the best thing we can do is just help each other build.
Yep, exactly.
Sure enough.
Absolutely.
All right. I think that's
True
going to...
that.
Let me see if I can get the music going here. Let's see. What sign?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, come on. Jesus.
What music?
Come on. What music you got for us this week?
Oh, it's the same one.
Yeah.
I kind of use this copyright free stuff, I can't put Leonard Skinner in there. I'll never have a channel ever again.
Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Yeah,
Bob, you can stay on here.
Good night, everybody.
Stay on here.
Namaste.
Yeah.
Good night.
Yeah, everybody have a good night.
time.
See you guys next week. We'll see you guys on there.
Thank you.
Thank you.